Yo, what is up, you guys? Barokoshama here with another roast shop. Today is CaptBuns, buddy from my twitch.tv live stream. If you guys are interested in doing the roast shops, the rules are down below. And you gotta post your original video on the original workshops video I posted up a few weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, I think I did. Anyway, I have his permission to use his video in my video. Any copyright claims. As well, if you guys want to check out my live stream at twitch.tv/Barokoshama, where we do these roasts live, and we also do a lot of theory crafting for BFA and a whole bunch of fun stuff, High Mythic Plus, just shaman content. Check it out. If you guys like the video, definitely hit it. Slap that like button, as well as subscribe to my channel for more Elemental Shaman content. If you guys want to follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, the links to those will be in the description down below, followed with the Twitch page. You can check me out, follow my stream, or even sub to my channel on Twitch if you want to support me more. Anyway, guys, sit back, relax, enjoy the roast. And it doesn't matter, we're just going to do it anyway. Alright, everybody, welcome to CaptBuns Workshop. This is where we're going to be testing out his gameplay. Not testing it out, but we're going to be pretty much ripping it to shreds. He's got Detail Streamer, which is what I recommend doing. He's also using my UI, which I also like. Probably using... he's using my WeakOrs too. This is nice. I'm looking at my screen right now. This is fantastic. Dry Night... Wait, go back. I want to see... Hey! There we go. Okay, he's got full buffs right now, so he's using crit food, looks like. Is he using crit food? What food is he using? I can't even see it on his bars. That's fine. I'm guessing it's crit food. He's got a flask on and the Defiler's Augment Rune. 965 Shamans. 965 Elemental Shaman with boots and shoulders. Looks like he's rocking 4 set. I'm guessing he's rocking 4 set. I hope that's the necklace from Arkway, the one that gives you more Maelstrom. We'll find out here in a second, see how much max Maelstrom he gets. 41% crit, 29% haste with totems down. That's unfortunate that he only has 29% haste. Mastery, versatility, and speed. He has a lot of crit. That's a lot of crit, dude. Holy crap. Damn. Damn. Yeah, it is crit food? Okay. Why'd you pre-lust? Don't pre-lust, CaptBuns. That's a waste of like a cup. Well, you don't really want to pre-lust. You don't get into the habit of pre-lusting because melee's not at the boss yet. This is like, I mean, you're probably pre-lusting for your one cast of pre-casting Elemental Blast, but like, there's no real reason for it on an actual boss fight. Because melee's not at the boss yet. So, yeah, just don't pre-lust like that. Flame Shock. Oh, you didn't get a proc. Okay. 2 Lava Bursts into another Flame Shock. Into Ascendance. 2 Burst, Lava Burst, Lava Burst, Lava Burst. I love this little, like, shininess to the WeakOrs that you changed. Belly Blast, Earth Shock. You're coming out of Ascendance pretty soon. What are you gonna do? This is where things wind down, and I'm interested to see what you do in here. Yeah, I think it's fine that you casted the 1 Lava Burst here. Fortunately, your Ascendance didn't last long enough for that Lava Burst to get buffed from your Ascendance, like crit rating and shit. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You're gonna Stormkeep. No, you stop it right there. Okay. First mistake. Stormkeeper's up. Generally, when you come out of Ascendance in your opener, you're going to have a Power of the Maelstrom buff. So you don't need to use Earth. You don't need to use Lava Burst here at all. At all. You already have a Power of the Maelstrom buff. You already have Lava Burst ticking down, right? Stormkeeper instead. Yeah, you got a Lava Surge proc, but like, I don't know, man. I just feel like your Stormkeeper needs to be on cooldown before you Lava Burst, especially if you have Power of the Maelstrom ticking. Okay, this is good. If you waste this, I'm going to be really upset. And you wasted it. Yep, you wasted it. Okay. While you're in Ascendance, like, you could have actually played this really well. You had 3 seconds left on your Ascendance here. You had a full Maelstrom bar, right? He has 131 Maelstrom, which means he has the Arcway necklace, which is fine, okay? But you have like 3 seconds left of on your last stack of Power of the Maelstrom, okay? And then you get a double proc of Earthshock, which is cool, but you still have a little bit of time left on your Power of the Maelstrom. You still have a little bit of time. And your Stormkeeper. Here, Stormkeeper with Power of the Maelstrom is above Lava Burst, even in Ascendance. It's above Lava Burst. But if you can time your if your Ascendance duration lines up well enough with your Stormkeeper and Power of the Maelstrom to not fall off before your Ascendance falls off, that makes sense. Like, then you can wait on your Stormkeeper, okay, until after you come out of Ascendance. But if your Stormkeeper paired with Power of the Maelstrom is going to fall off before you come out of Ascendance, get rid of those stacks, because those lightning bolts hit way fucking harder than any Lava Burst that's going in your Ascendance. And you're getting 3. You're getting 3 potentially. 3 200% increased lightning bolts from 1 instant cast. That's a lot of damage. And then you whiffed it. You still had time. You still had time even after your last lava. No. Still had time even after this last Lava Burst cast. Not that one. One before. No. I have to go back. Still had time even after that Lava Surge. Proc to cast your last Stormkeeper. So, work on that. Understand that this takes priority over anything else. Let's move on. When are you Earthshocking? 81? That's not bad at all. You got a good proc here. Let's continue. Let's continue. LE Blast is coming off cooldown. Okay. Your LE Blast is also way higher priority than an Earthshock. You always want your LE Blast to be buffing your other spells. So because you talented into it, it should be further up on your bars, first of all. As like, think about your bars as like a priority of spell, right? 1 is like highest priority or your filler spell. 2 is the second highest, whatever, right? Like your first, in my opinion, your first like 5 spells should be like your rotation. Anyway, people set up their bars differently. That's okay. In this situation, you had Elemental Blast coming off cooldown at 0.7 seconds. If you can see it down there. You want your LE Blast to be buffing your Earthshock. But instead you Earthshock here instead. And then you probably LE Blast. No, you Lava Burst. So you're still like prolonging it. And then you LE Blast. So like this Elemental Blast could have double procced like buffs, crit, haste, mastery. That crit buff could have ensured you a high crit on your Earthshock. It could have ensured you faster casting for your next 2 Lava Bursts. It could have like increased their crit. If you got mastery, it could have ensured an elemental overload, right? So LE Blast is very high priority. You always want to be using that above all of your other spells because you want it to be buffing your spells. That's the point of it. Not its damage, it's the buff that you get from it. This is where you LE Blast it before an Earthshock. This is good. This is fine. And that's good because you got a double proc of Earthshock. But I mean, I should have said it before on here. Your Maelstrom's very high. And you actually wasted Maelstrom here. So let's see, what could have we have done here? You had LE Blast coming up at 1.9 seconds. You Earthshock here, right? Which gives you a boots proc. That's fine. And then you LE blast. Okay, so that's what happened. So you did Earthshock at the right moment back here, which is good. So you just got an Earthshock like boots proc. Okay, so that's fantastic. And then you got another one, which is also really good. But then you should have also Earthshocked here. You had 78 Maelstrom. Right? So this, you shouldn't have to wait for Earthshock. And you keep going too. And then what if you got a boots proc here? Your Earthshock to be early isn't just for chances for your Ascendance to be higher in comparison to its damage loss from Maelstrom lessened, I guess. It's also like the fluidity of your rotation. So you had 2 stacks of Lava Burst here, right? And those, like, if you don't use Lava Burst, it doesn't recharge. So your rotation loses its momentum, okay? You also had Stormkeeper coming up here, but you're so high on Maelstrom that you keep casting Lightning Bolt. And if you Earthshocked sooner, like before, like after this one, if you Earthshocked after this one, you could have continued to cast Lightning Bolt. And then your Maelstrom wouldn't have been as high. But you also get, like, recharge time on your Lava Burst. And then you can use your Lava Burst to gain Maelstrom instead of your Lightning Bolt. Like, you're not as high on Maelstrom. And you're making your rotation more fluid. You're giving yourself more chances of proc Ascendance. Okay? And you're not screwing yourself over in the long run. So, also in this situation, your CDs are all coming up. So you have Stormkeeper coming up. You have Elemental Blast. Stormkeeper is actually already off cooldown before Elemental Blast is close to it. So I would have used Stormkeeper here in preparation for your next few steps. So a lot of what you should be doing is thinking 5-10 steps ahead in your rotation by looking at your cooldowns, seeing what you can do, seeing if your totems need to be refreshed, your Flame Shock soon needs to be refreshed, your Stormkeeper's coming up, your Elemental Blast is coming up, you have this amount of Maelstrom. Like, what can you do in the next few seconds in your rotation, right? So in this situation, after this Lightning Bolt, I would have, well, I mean, like, you wouldn't have been at this high Maelstrom anyway. So back here, you would have casted your Earthshock. Then you would have Lightning Bolted, okay? You have so much Maelstrom generation capabilities from your next setups here that you don't need to cap your Maelstrom that high. Or, like, push your Maelstrom to 92, which you did. So in this situation, I would have Stormkeepered instead of Lava Burst. Okay. And you do get a proc of Lava Surge while you're casting this. So I would have Stormkeepered instead, and then an Elemental Blast. And then I would have casted my Lava Burst. Because you constantly want to be putting your Stormkeeper on cooldown. And then you kind of just wait here for it too. Like, you don't put it on cooldown either. You Earthshock here? Yeah. And then you use your Stormkeeper. So, and then you use 2 stacks while you have a Lava Burst. So there's definitely some things you need to work on here. Your priority of spells, your Earthshocks need to be a little bit more precise. And you're weaving in and fishing for power of the Maelstrom. So you use your Stormkeeper here, but then you immediately use 2 stacks. Okay? You have a Lava Burst coming off of cooldown, so you don't need to do that. You also have Flame Shock that needs to be buffed, which can prolong an additional, like, setup for another Lava Burst. Maybe you get a Lava Surge proc, which gives you power of the Maelstrom. But then you use 2 stacks right away when you have a Lava Burst up. That's a waste of damage. You use all 3 and you have a Lava Burst up. That saddens me. When you're playing Earthquake Boots and you Earthshock and get a Shoulders proc, Boots proc, and Lava Burst proc at the same time. Rotations. Yeah, Bear Rubs. I'll tell you in a sec what to do there. Your totems are coming off cooldown. LA Blast into totem refresh. There you go. And now you're going. Oh, you don't. Did you put your totem? Yeah, you did. Okay. Your rotation is good right now. I'm not really seeing anything scoff at. Just got a double boots proc, which is fantastic. Lightning Bolt and LA Blast, please. Okay, you refresh Flame Shock. Why did you refresh Flame Shock, though? Without... Okay, so... in this situation, you do have... Okay. In this situation here, this is where I'm seeing something, okay? You have about 9 seconds left on your Flame Shock. You have an Elemental Focus buff still active, but you choose to Lightning Bolt instead of refresh that Flame Shock with an Elemental Focus buff. This changes your rotation, well, it changes your damage slightly afterwards because you still think that you have that Elemental Focus buff, and then you immediately recast Flame Shock. But the Flame Shock doesn't have Elemental Focus, so it's not dealing an extra 10% damage over its duration, which is a problem. And then if you refresh it again here with... Sorry, I hit the mic. If you refresh it again here with an Elemental Focus buff, that's a waste of a GCD. Got a Boots proc, Boots proc, Boots proc. Very lucky on that. But your entire Flame Shock is ticking for 10% less damage here, and that's an issue. And then you use Stormkeeper twice here again. Okay. This is where we're going back to understanding your priority of spells. LA Blast over everything. Except for refreshing Flame Shock with Elemental Focus. That's like highest priority. So LA Blast here, you have Stormkeeper on cooldown, which is fine. You put it on cooldown. But you have Elemental Blast coming up, and then you decide to whiff your first stack of Chain Lightning, or first stack of Lightning Bolt. Wait like the half second for LA Blast. I understand you should always want to be casting, but in this situation, if you get a Power of the Maelstrom, that half second is worth waiting. Even waiting the half second for the LA Blast to buff your Stormkeeper. Use 2 stacks and an Earthshock before your Elemental Blast. Spell priority, my friend. Use all 3 stacks of Stormkeeper before you even cast your single Lava Burst, which is already over halfway recharging to its next stack. Here's another mistake. So, you cast... This is fine. Like, you're casting your Fire Elemental on cooldown, but you have Elemental Blast coming off cooldown. You have Lava Burst coming off cooldown. And you're mainly only going to get 2 Ascendance, like, CDs. 2 Ascendance of your 3-minute CDs in a fight. Usually, you'll only get 2. So there's no real rush to use this, my friend. Get out everything that you can before you go into this Ascendance. Fire Elemental is fine to use on cooldown because it's passive. It just does whatever it does, right? You put it on cooldown, that's fine. What I would have done here is I would have second potted Fire Elemental. I would have used my Elemental Blast, and then I would have gotten rid of that 1 stack of Lava Burst as well that you had coming up. So you Fire Ellie here. You don't second pot with the Fire Ellie, which is important because you want that second pot to be buffing that second Fire Elemental. And that's also dependent on when... it's specific on certain bosses when to use a second pot. But anyway, on the training dummy, second pot goes with second Fire Elemental because everything comes up at around 3 minutes. Ele Blast, first stack of Lava Burst, then you go into your Ascendance. Because you're in Ascendance and then you Ele Blast, which is wasting 2 seconds of your Ascendance time. But you could have pre-casted that before you went into Ascendance. You see what I mean? So you, like it's preemptively not wasting time in your Ascendance, and you're putting one of your most important spells on cooldown before you go into your big CD. Earthshock. Okay. That's what you did. Earthshock. Again, you're stacking your Maelstrom too high. You cast a Lava Burst here before your Earthshock, which puts you at 109 Maelstrom. If you got a Boots proc, you would have overcapped Maelstrom and then wasted it. So, try and avoid that. Refresh Flame Shock? No, instead you Lightning Bolt. And then you refresh Flame Shock again with no Elemental Focus buffing it. You had the capabilities there, for sure. You had an Elemental Blast, right? So your Lava Burst gave you another 2 stacks of Elemental Focus. Your Elemental Blast is getting buffed by Elemental Focus. And then you should have immediately Flame Shocked after this to refresh your Flame Shock, full duration with an Elemental Focus. But instead you decided to Lightning Bolt. This is a waste of 10% damage on your Lightning Bolt because your Flame Shock's running off. That Flame Shock would have done more damage than that Lightning Bolt in that situation if you buffed it with the 10%. I mean, Flame Shock in general, one application of it does more damage than a Lightning Bolt, of course. So it's important for you to refresh it with an Elemental Focus buff. Doing your rotation. Stormkeeper's off cooldown. Please, Stormkeeper. There we go. No. You have a Lava Burst. Use it. Use your damn Lava Burst. Fish for Power the Maelstrom procs. Why? You had so much potential here. If you get a Power the Maelstrom proc from these 2 Lava Bursts, I'm going to be so salty. Okay, you didn't. But still! It's the purpose. It's the premises of the principle. Come on, CaptBuns. You're better than that. Ele Blast and Lava Burst came off cooldown at the same time. Okay, so you're casting Lightning Bolts here. And your Ele Blast and Lava Burst come off cooldown at the same time. But you didn't use the Elemental Blast first to buff that Lava Burst. Which you could have. Ele Blast before this Lava Burst. Thank you. Stormkeeper's coming up. Why are you banking on Stormkeeper? Okay, now you Stormkeeper. Ele Blast. 1 stack of Stormkeeper. Then Lava Burst. No, you're getting rid of all your Stormkeeper. Stop doing that! You little shit. Yeah, I called you a little shit. Ele Blast is up. What did you do here? I want to see. You had 4 seconds left on your Ele Blast. When did you Earthshock? Wait, why did you Earthshock at 42 Maelstrom? Is there a reason? Is there a reason you Earthshocked at 42 Maelstrom? I mean, like, you had a Lava Burst here. Okay. You had Elemental Blast coming off cooldown. Okay. And then you Earthshock. Which doesn't make any sense to me, because now you're going to waste time in Ascendance to cast that Elemental Blast. I mean, that's cool that you got a Ascendance proc at 54 Maelstrom, 52 Maelstrom. But, I mean, if you were going to get that Ascendance anyway, you should have used Ele Blast beforehand. And then you're just wasting time in Ascendance. I don't understand it. Please Earth, please Flame Shock, please Flame Shock. Okay, you're done. All right, that's fine. So, CaptBuns, thank you for submitting your roast shop. Things you got to work on: your spell priority. All right, your Maelstrom control. Be very aggressive with using your Maelstrom on Earth Shocks at roughly 75 Maelstrom, maybe 80, because you have the Arcway necklace. So you have 5% more Maelstrom in total, so you can get away with using Earth Shock at around 80. But weave in your damn lava bursts. Weave your damn lava bursts in. Put your shit on cooldown. Put Stormkeeper on cooldown. Try and get Power of the Maelstrom procs. Fish for that shit, man. You gotta fish for Power of the Maelstrom procs over the duration of your Stormkeeper. But always be casting. So if you don't get any Power of the Maelstrom procs, don't sit there and like not do anything, obviously. Then you would get rid of your stacks. But like if you can cast Lava Burst while you have Stormkeeper up and you don't have Power of the Maelstrom procs active, try and get them. Elemental Blast needs to be on cooldown. Like, that's your highest priority. Also, refresh your damn Flame Shock with Elemental Focus buffing it. Because if you don't, it's waste of damage. Waste of a GCD, in my opinion. Alright, guys. This has been CaptBuns Roast. Thank you so much for watching. Like it if you like the video. Subscribe if you want more Elemental Shaman content. If you want to participate in the roast shops that I do here live on twitch.tv, first of all, you got to follow my channel on twitch.tv. Twitch.tv/Barokoshama. Go and check it out. The link will be in the description down below. Also, with all the rules that you need to know in order to submit a workshop for me to roast you and obviously increase your DPS, because you're going to learn some stuff when I do roast you. All the rules will be down in the description, as well as the original video for CaptBuns. Original recording. I have his permission to use his video in my video, so that's the disclaimer. If you guys want to check out my Twitter and Instagram, those will be down in the description down below of this video as well. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Keep calm and Maelstrom on.